This is blowing my mind. This is dawning beyond every sense of comprehension in my body and in my brain. This, ladies and gentlemen.
This is killing the game.
Thank you, Terry, for taking the words right out of my mouth. Shout out Terry Fluids. But look, the fact that only very, very few reasonable and very few amount of people have decided to talk on the subject is appalling. Because what is happening at the moment to Arsenal Football Club is as clear as day. As clear as day. The Arsenal agendas are real. And again, Terry, don't please sue me or anything for stealing video ideas. But it's true. It's true. It's something I have witnessed within the last 2 or 3 years. And as I say, it has just absolutely blown my mind. Blown my mind beyond all comprehension, right? And look, I can't really talk that much on the subject considering I'm not an Arsenal fan. I can only look from the outside in and what is happening with my club, with Manchester United. And look, we need to have a serious footballing discussion, right? Because what I'm seeing as a Man United fan from other Man United fans is sickening. Absolutely sickening. Disgusting and horrible, right? Tweets that claim they would rather see Manchester City, a team that have bought their way into this league, and let's not make jokes about it, who have bought their success, and who have been accused of 115 charges, which I hope they are found guilty of and stripped of all of their titles because they deserve nothing at all. But people are really saying that they would prefer Manchester City winning the league over Arsenal. Now, people can say, "Oh, you're glazing Arsenal. Oh my days." Stop the nonsense. I'm only seeing what's in front of me, and I am talking with a very grounded mind on the subject because we've had too many deluded and crazy football fans, right, who have overstated some things, right? And I'm not saying don't be happy with a win when your club wins, I'm saying don't let the win go too far. Like, for example, I'm going to shout out Terry again because after we beat Aston Villa, right? After we beat Aston Villa, people were really saying that we could win the league. Now, sorry, but I'm just debating on how to phrase this without getting absolutely smashed in the comments. Now, don't get me wrong, the win against Villa was massive, stupendously massive, right? But to go as far as we are winning the league, it's like seeing the Tottenham fans. Was it last year or 2 years ago? No. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Big Ant had just come in. They were unbeaten in their first 7 games. Right? unbeaten in the first 7, and were claiming that Tottenham were going to win the league, right? We're first in the league, unbeaten, same amount of points as Arsenal. Turned out they finished 16th, I believe it was. 16th. Only thing that happened was that they won the Europa League. Now, look. Of course, you can let yourself get carried away from your team's win. Of course, you can be happy when your team wins, and it's just a part of the passion that we feel as football fans. It is. But what I'm trying to say is, I've watched this over a period of time now where I'm going, this is not banter, but an agenda that has been drilled into our minds ever since 2022. Okay? Now, I want to come back to Man United because, as I say, I can only speak on what happens at my club, right? But the fact that people are saying they prefer Man City winning the league over Arsenal is disgusting and infuriating, in my humble opinion. It demeans us as a club. Manchester City are our biggest rival, right? And I'm not saying don't hate Man City because you're a United fan, I'm saying stand by your club, right? It just doesn't make any sense. The fact that people are saying that we want our biggest rivals to win the league, this is not a hot take. This is just the shit that has been fed to us from the mainstream media, because the mainstream media have taken this all over, right? And I want to come to this in a second. Right? But as I say, there's always room. Thing is, we've got to learn to divide two things: mainstream media and fan content, right? And of course, in the fan space, there's always room for banter. And I have nothing against banter. I have nothing against digs before derbies. I have nothing against all of that, right? But it gets critical. It gets absolutely critical when the mainstream media are pushing narratives that have come from the fans and are taking this fan content and pushing these narratives. Jamie Carragher is the main person I want to call out on this subject, because he has been the man poisoning our minds with crap about Arsenal. The celebration, please. What are you doing? It's only 3 points. Get the hell down the tunnel. This is not punditry. This is bias, and this is an agenda, and people have to start realising this, right? To be fair, right, I will say this. People, can you blame the people that are putting down Arsenal? Now, I know this sounds very contradicting, right, compared to what I'm just saying, right? This sounds very contradicting. However, if you just live in a world, because there are people like that, right? People who don't know about the fan content, people who only watch, Monday Night Football after a long day from work, or people who listen to Talk Sport while they're doing housework or whatever. All the mainstream media are pushing the same narrative. And, some people don't see a way around it because that's the only thing they listen to, right? Because they don't listen to fan content. And that's why I urge you, please, to look around, to look further, maybe into fan content, maybe into something else, because the mainstream media are not doing punditry anymore. They are basing it on agendas, clicks, and hype. Okay? This is no analysis anymore. This is just a trend to go as viral as possible and to stir controversy among fans and fan bases, right? But and that's why I urge you, please, listen to more than, listen to the fan content. Listen to me. Listen to Footy Judge Mode, to Terry Fluids, and to many other people, because I reckon us as football fans could do a better job in that Sky studio than expos that get paid millions a year, because all they're doing is going off hype train. All I want to say to cap it off is for and as Man United fans, right, it is important to look beyond this thing. Also, right, and again, got this. Okay. Breathe. Okay. All I want to say now to cap this off is, as Man United fans, as I said just now, it's revolting, horrible, and disgusting to hear that people want Manchester City, our biggest rival, arguably, to win the league, right? And this is coming from Man United fans. And there you see how far the bullshit from the mainstream media narratives have come to the fact that loads of people are deluding themselves that Arsenal are this virus, this thing that basically fans are stuck in time where Arsenal was a banter club. 2016, 17, arguably 18 maybe. Please contradict me, Arsenal fans, if I'm wrong. But the truth is, what Mikel Arteta has done over the last 4 years has been nothing short of extraordinary and amazing. Because, in my opinion, right, Mikel Arteta has built a dynasty with that Arsenal team. Trust the process, they said, and now they're on the verge of winning a treble. Of course, he may not get it right. He may not always get it right. But not every manager does. I mean, listen, even Fergie said in the 2009 Champions League final, he said, my biggest mistake was not playing Ji-sung Park to mark Lionel Messi. Right? And that's coming from one of the greatest managers of all time. Right? So, yeah, as I say, what Mikel Arteta has done is nothing short of extraordinary. But the thing is, fans are struggling to cope with this because I think they are scared of when Arsenal win the first big trophy, because for years the agenda has been, Arsenal never win big trophies. Yes, they've won a couple of FA Cups, but they've never won big trophies. But the truth is, in my opinion, I think fans are scared of the reality of Arsenal perhaps winning a treble, because they know what would be coming. They know that this dynasty will be marching on for years and years, maybe even decades to come. Okay? And people need to realise now that times have changed and Arsenal are a club to be reckoned with, and Arsenal are a threat in this moment in time. Also, for Man United fans, right, it's important to say this for people in the Man United fan base have said they'd rather see Arsenal win. They'd rather see Man City win the league over Arsenal. What you are doing is basically undermining and basically, is undermining the right word? Basically, demining. I think that's the right word. Demining the legacy of our greatest manager. Demining it. Okay? So, do me a favour, lads. Let that all sink in and let's get back to reality. But, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Please excuse the extreme inconsistent uploads, as I haven't been able to upload the last couple months because of the fact that, well, to be honest, I've had a lot going on. As I've told you many times before, I do content as a part-time thing. Also, it was my birthday, and then this happened, and then that happened. Basically, life got in the way. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back on the grind now. So, lads, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and with you, yes, you, right there, we can reach the 100 subs before the end of the year. That would be greatly appreciated. So with that, I'm saying thank you very much for watching. Scotty out. Peace.